another episode of your favorite podcast, the Ultimate Intimacy Podcast. Welcome back to the podcast. And
Welcome.
I have no idea what we're talking about today. You guys are probably like, you guys preparing for these podcasts? But Amy has prepared for this podcast. Sometimes we like to keep each other kind of off or catch each other off guard a little bit. Because I think when you don't have stuff planned out and scripted, it just makes
Better
a better
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah.
So it's not that we don't prepare, we do. Sometimes it's Amy prepares one, I prepare one. Sometimes we both do. We are prepared, but it's kind of fun to catch each other off guard sometimes.
So today we're just going off some survey answers that we took on our Instagram stories, and the title is What Husbands and Wives Wish They Had More of in Marriage, or what they want more of in marriage.
Oh,
So,
nice.
they're random things. They're from you guys. If you're on there, you took surveys, you take our surveys. These are your answers. It's not what we think couples need more of in marriage or what we need more of in marriage. It's what you guys want more of in marriage, which is great.
But we'll certainly be commenting on them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I'm sure Nick's gonna be like, yeah, agree. Yeah, agree.
100%.
Agree.
I'll be commenting on them. Yeah, exactly.
Nick's gonna be like, I wish I had that too. So we try.
Okay, that's
We are a normal couple, and there are things that we wish to that we have to work on.
yeah, it's
So
funny because I think we get some messages or comments and they're like, people will say something assuming that like we have the perfect marriage. And we don't. Like we have a great marriage, but we work very hard on things just like most people do. And I think that's the way marriage is supposed to be. It's supposed to be that you work hard on things, you constantly put forth effort, you're constantly trying to be a better husband, a better father. I think that's the whole purpose of marriage. And I think if you're feeling like everything's good, and you don't have to work on things, that's probably not a good sign.
I probably would guess that no couple out there listening thinks that they have a perfect marriage,
Yeah.
including us for sure. So marriages work, right? That's God's plan, is to put us together with someone that is totally different than us and test us. I really do think that that is the plan. Like we're come here to test. Marriage is a really hard test, and we have to learn all these attributes, to
Amy,
make it work. So
Amy just says, less testing, please. Less testing.
didn't say that.
I'm just joking.
Okay. So we're going to go back. I don't want this to be husbands first, wives second, or vice versa. I want it to be like we're going to say a husband one and we're going to say a wife one. And if you were on an Instagram, you already saw these because I already posted this, but we're going to talk about each one. Okay. So they're going to be kind of random and why. I think we'll just comment on why those, yeah, that's like really, I can see why husband would wish he had that or wife would wish she had that. Okay, so husband, so we asked 3,000 husbands and wives. That's about what we get off some of our story
Mhm.
polls. What do you want more of in your marriage, or what do you wish you had more of in your marriage? Okay, so these are the most popular answers. Just kind of took some of those comments that were the most popular out of all the comments.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, like, worded differently, but pretty much the same, right? Like, I feel like husbands typically all want the same things and wives typically all want the same things. So
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to take a survey and be like, yep, there's your top answers.
Yeah. You may get a side thing that you're like, oh, one person
Yeah,
says something, but for the majority
for the
of
majority.
responses, they're all kind of wanting the same thing.
For sure, for sure. Okay, so husband said this. I wish my wife knew how much it means when she notices the things I do and says thank you. Even small appreciation makes me feel more seen, more valued, but I rarely get that. I feel like the only thing she really does appreciate is my paycheck. We've heard that a lot. We've done podcast episodes on paychecks, but I do think that there are a lot of husbands that work really, really hard and their wife really does just kind of treat them like a paycheck, which is really sad. I need to laugh. It's heartbreaking, and
Well,
I
we
think the just a small amount of thank you for working hard. And I'm not very good at appreciation, so I'm like I understand how hard it is to just say thank you when you're not used to it or you're not very good at it. But this just shows like how meaningful that is to like we'll get into this, but obviously we did that episode where husbands just don't feel desired, and so they just kind of start feeling used for working for the family, right?
Yeah, and a lot of the comments we'll hear as well, my spouse knows how I feel about them. I shouldn't have to tell them. But do they know? Like if you're never saying anything, how do they know? You can't
Right.
just assume that they know that you love them. I think so many of us are need words of affirmation need to hear it. And even if you're not words of affirmation, like just saying something simple like "Thank you so much for all you
Mhm.
do," or all the hard work you do for our family, or "Thank you, sweetie, for all the things you do for me." Like just something so simple. It's so easy to do, but it's so meaningful, and I mean, it has a huge impact.
It does. And Nick's really good at it, so you can take his advice.
You can take it to the bank.
Nick is much better at this one.
Okay,
Um,
we're both good at
they
different
probably
things.
do, babe. Uh, wives or a wife. Okay, I wish my husband would just come home, look around, and see what needs to be done without me. Always happy to ask him. It would take a huge amount of mental load off me to not feel like I'm managing everything all the time and feel so alone in our
Oh, we just
marriage.
did a podcast episode on this subject.
This is a lot of women's complaint, and I know that we just talked about this. But that is so meaningful to a wife when a husband just does stuff. When he just does stuff. And I think that's why this, I know we're not going to spend time on this because we literally just talked about this on a whole entire episode. But the mental load, we both have one, but we just got to learn how to communicate. And a wife, I think it more or less, yeah, we both have a mental load, but it comes down to like the parenting typically. Not, some men
Yeah,
are amazing at
yeah.
this. I'm not like saying everyone, some men are amazing at this, but some men literally kind of dump all the parenting slash home responsibilities on the wife, which not trying to throw you under the bus, but kind of happened to us for years when the kids were younger.
I think it's a natural thing.
I
I
think it's
really do.
natural for a husband to be
I,
like, well,
I,
that's what she's good at.
I don't take any offense to it because I think we're both wired differently and think differently. And I think that it's not that we as men don't care, but sometimes the wives are like overly care. Like, I
Okay,
think,
let's talk about it. Let's just get real and honest right now and talk about our situation then. Okay, because for many years when the kids were younger, I did most of the parenting. I'm not gonna lie. Like you,
yeah,
you were there in the evening and you'd help out or whatever. But like the majority of the nurturing, the parenting fell on me. I tucked them in. I made the meals. I cleaned their sheets. I did the lawn. Like, and the household role, even though I was working, I still felt like I did the majority of that too. So explain like how that changed in our marriage finally, and without the wife having to like be nagging and stuff, like how did you kind of finally understand that whole mental load and be like, there's a lot more that I don't know that's going on in the house.
yeah. Well, I think obviously talking about it, having that conversation, and then getting in and diving in and like starting to do a lot of the stuff. I'm like, holy smokes! Like, there's a lot of stuff that she does, and a lot of stuff that needs to be done behind the scenes that I don't even see. But again, we talk about this all the time, and it sounds so dumb, but or it's just oh my heck, you guys always talk about that, but
Mhm.
just talking about it and having that communication as a couple. And even like if you don't talk about it and you don't say anything, then I don't know that it's a problem, or
Mhm.
vice versa, right? And
Right.
and it's just going to build up and get worse and worse and worse until someone finally explodes. But yeah, if you talk about it, then I know it's important. I know maybe it's something obviously we need to address, and me as a husband needs to step it up. So yeah, I think that's the big thing.
And I think the thing that really like helped us was sitting down and like listing out everything that like needs to be done. Because I don't think a lot of husbands that aren't used to like he wasn't really raised to like clean and mop floors and do all the things that I was raised to do. And so I kind of got thrown into it in our marriage. And we're talking about like clean out the microwave, cleaning out the fridge, clean out cupboards. We're like the kind of things that a lot of men don't, men, some
We
do,
miss the small stuff.
but like cleaning the kids' sheets, like have you ever taken like sheets off the kids' beds and washed them and put them back on the beds? Most men are not thinking about that. Like the kids' sheets have to be clean too. Those kind of things that kind of get because women they think about that like I don't want my kids sleeping in nasty sheets. Like it's important to clean your sheet. Like some people monthly, some people think it should be weekly. And so like there's just like once you sit down together as a couple and like list out all the things that a wife is like this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, We always joke about her seeing a speck of dust, but it's so much deeper than that, right?
But
Like
there's
there's a lot
also
going on.
but there's also a lot of truth to that. I
There,
mean,
yeah,
the
yeah.
women
So
the women are in the fine details, and we as men are,
the house looks clean, it's great. But
yeah.
yeah, sheets do need to be cleaned and other stuff needs to be cleaned that you don't see, you
And
know?
again,
So
if you're a wife that's feeling frustrated with your husband, talk to him about it. We say this all the time, but I'm sure he'd be like, "Oh my heck, I'm so sorry. Let me help with
and
that."
the simple solution that we did one day was literally, like I said, list everything out. These are all the things that have to be done around the house. We made the You and I app, youandiapp.com, for that reason, because we went over every aspect of parenting and maintaining a home and listed all the stuff like deep cleaning, weekly cleaning, kitchen maintenance, sheets, all that kind of stuff, like in categories to help you be like, holy cow, there's a lot that happens.
Hmm.
Help you guys understand, like, how do we balance this better? Well, that's all we're gonna say because we've already talked about this, but that is one of the biggest things that wives say. So
Yeah,
just
I'd
be
say that's
mindful, husbands.
one of the biggest things that causes conflict for sure, I think.
Just feeling like they're doing a lot of the stuff that needs to be done alone and him not trying to understand. Like that's what a lot of wives are trying to
And
say.
every situation's different. Like if you're a husband that works
Mhm.
for home, it's going to be different than a husband that's working away from the house versus a wife that's working or not working. Like everyone's
Right,
situation's going to be different. That's
right.
why you have to talk about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Our
wives. It's gonna
situation's
look
totally different than a lot of other people.
well, yeah, there's a lot of women working nowadays too. And some people can afford to get cleaners and some people choose not to. Like there's just a lot of situations. Okay, the next one, let's move on. Husbands, I would love to feel desired in my marriage, even if just a little bit. It would make my whole world if my wife initiated sex or even just physical affection once in a while.
Amen, brother.
We always talk about this, so I don't think we
Yeah,
need to talk about this more.
yeah. We always talk. Yeah, we do.
My tip for the wives on that one would just be sometimes I initiate when I'm not in the mood. And then I have to use a positive attitude to get and foreplay to get in the mood. And I think that's key that a lot of women are like, I'm not in the mood. Why am I going to initiate? It's really hard, guys. It's really hard. It's really hard. Wives, I would love more non-sexual touch throughout the day, not just when my husband wants to be intimate. Small, affectionate moments would make me feel more connected, more cared for, and more loved.
Okay, I have some comments on this
Okay,
one.
let's do it.
Um,
Not our marriage, their marriages.
no, but we hear this, yeah, and our marriages, just every marriage in general. This is, my husband only touches me when he wants sex. So therefore the husband's like, okay, I won't touch her because she doesn't want me to.
What about right after you
And
have sex? Why can't you touch her and show her that it's not sexual?
I do. I do.
I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking
Oh,
about
okay.
husbands. We're talking about husbands.
I'm just saying, I think it's kind of interesting because so many women are like, he just touches me when he wants sex, and gives the impression like, don't touch me.
No, I don't think that's what they're saying at all. I think they're saying, like, we always have this like cycle, right? Like, okay, you make love, just an example, make love a couple times a week. What happens the next morning? Are you distant because you already got
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
A lot of husbands are very guilty of this. They're
Oh, for
all over
sure.
him when they want it, and then don't touch him the rest of
I'm
the week.
I'm guilty of that because you're not a physical touch
But most
person.
women are like they do like that affection. Like we're maybe ours is a little different. I'm like, I'm fine without it. But a lot of women don't want to feel like this. A lot of women would like, I would love to cuddle the next morning. I would love you to grab my butt every day and not just that day.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
love for you to give me long, passionate kisses, not just when you're trying to get something from me. Like this is a really big deal to a lot of women.
Yeah,
It's a really big deal to a lot of women because a lot of husbands are just like all over her only when they want something. The minute they get it, then they don't touch their wife again for 4 days,
yeah,
whatever.
no, I
Yeah.
agree with that too.
Like husbands, there's this thing called non-sexual touch. Wives too, this could go both ways. Um, I think it's important to hold hands as often as you can, kiss your spouse when they leave, give a hug once in a while. Those kind of things are so simple and just show that it's not always just when you're after something.
Yeah,
It's an easy
yeah.
fix, right? You just have to be mindful about it. Another husband said, I would love, love, love to feel like I am as important as our kids, my wife's friends, or her hobbies. I often feel like I'm last on the list, and by the time we finally have time at night, she's usually too tired to actually connect.
Oh, that's so common. So common.
I mean, that's kind of why it's at the top 10.
Yeah, so
So
common.
We have an entire podcast on this one that we've already talked about, just putting your marriage first. I don't think that most husbands are like, I need to be as important for the kids as a time sense. I think they would just love to be like, dump all your energy into your kids and your life, whatever makes you happy. And
Yeah.
then at night, give me 30 minutes.
Give me some scraps. Like a
Yeah,
husband would be okay with the scraps,
I
right?
agree.
Honestly.
And
Like just give me something.
that's just kind of marriage though in this stages of life of parenting and raising kids or even when you're not in that stage, sometimes we dump our energy into careers or other hobbies and
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
It's
it's exactly how we think. I mean, we're like all day you go out to lunch with friends, you're with the kids, you
well, a lot of
like
women work
well,
too.
I
They're
understand
dumping time
that.
into careers.
I
Yeah.
understand that, but let's face it, like a lot of the things that they choose to do are things that they choose to do,
Mhm.
not have to do, or what have you, or
Yep.
prioritize, I guess you could say. But yeah, like just give us something, give us a few minutes. That's all we need. We're not high maintenance.
And I think this goes both ways too, because it there's a lot of guys that do the same thing,
Yeah.
right? Like
Well, and
a
typically,
wife is like, can I have those 30 minutes? Like I feel like you prioritize your job and everybody else in front of me too. Like this absolutely goes both
but
ways.
I think it's normal when the intimacy and connection is not there, whether you're a husband or wife, you're naturally going to go pursue other things. If there's no connection there and you know that you're not going to be intimate and your wife doesn't care or your husband doesn't care, like you're going to go pursue other things. That's just naturally what's going to
And
happen.
we kind of as humans kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Head their direction to where we get validation, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, if you're getting no validation at home, you're not feeling loved or cared for at home, you're not getting emotional needs met at home, it's going to happen somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like
You're
not
going to
okay,
go
not
hang
saying
out with
it's
your
okay,
buddies
but
or
yeah, you're gonna go for it somewhere else. Okay, moving on. Wives, I would do anything to have my husband be more emotionally open with me instead of shutting things down or shutting down and staying quiet. I want to feel like I really know him, for him to be vulnerable and want him to want to have good talks. So I think she's saying just, I think a lot of husbands are so taught just to kind of shut
hold
down when
things
things are
in.
yeah, hard or yeah, hold things in to be masculine or strong or whatever. And a lot of wives are like, I just want to talk to you. I want you to open up to me. You know what I mean? And there's such a balance to that because we always hear masculinity doesn't dump all their issues on the female, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to
But
say,
having a healthy balance, like you still need to open up and like be able to have good discussions with your wife.
yeah, there is a healthy balance, and that's going to look different for everyone. But
Hmm.
we've talked about this before. The last thing Amy wants me to do is go dump everything on her that I'm
Right.
feeling or going through, and so you find that good balance.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't want to say dumb thing. I mean, if it's a friend of your
Yeah,
spouse, I would hope that a wife would like have the emotions to hold room and feelings for that too, right? Okay, husbands, I would love to feel like we are on the same team instead of feeling like I'm constantly being corrected. I want to get things right for her, but I feel like I can't do anything right. There are different ways to get things done. And I think a lot of husbands feel like this because wives like, I need you to like that mental load comes back. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to do this, but every time I do something, it's never right or I don't do it right. And we've had a discussion on this
yeah.
too, but there are two ways to get things done, even though he puts the forks up in the dishwasher.
Oh, there we go. There you
I
go.
let him empty the dishwasher so that I don't have to deal with that.
Yep, true that.
It's a joke because we took a poll on that and it was
It's
pretty
pretty
it
even.
was
I
pretty
think so.
even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's
So
just a different way.
don't let that kind of stuff like cause big contention in your marriage. Just be like, okay, he's doing it.
Let him do it his way.
Let him do it his way. Quit nagging, right? I think you get to a point in your marriage where like, I'm too tired to even like worry about you doing it a certain way. Just do it. Um, Wives, I wish my husband would be more present with me and the kids when he's home. It would mean so much if we felt like we had some full attention and he was really here with us, not split somewhere else. And we hear this from both sides. Obviously, everyone's on their phones, disconnected, distracted, whatever. I think presence is very attractive on both sides. And I think a lot of women were just saying, instead of coming home from work, jumping on your phone, just being more present with the
Yeah.
family. That's a big one. That's a big one.
Yep. And it does go both ways,
It
like you
does
talked about.
absolutely. A lot of these go both ways. Husbands, I can't even imagine how it would feel if my wife would told me she wanted me or desired me again. I would do anything to feel like that kind of connection in our marriage again. Oh, probably every husband out there.
Yeah.
Wives, I wish so badly that my husband would want to date me again and pursue me like he used to. I always end up being the one to plan date nights, and I miss feeling that effort and that excitement from him.
Well, that's a good
A
one.
lot of husbands dropping the ball on the date night. That is a man's job to plan, to carry out, and to make it fun. Nick's smiling because we're so fun.
That's so fun. Yeah.
We're so fun.
Right.
Hey, we went to a movie this weekend.
We did. Yeah. We switched it
Was
up.
that fun?
We went to a movie.
We invited our daughter because she was home alone all weekend.
You know, all right.
That was a date. I'm just joking. That's not date night, guys.
Okay. That's the thing, though.
That's
It's like
we had a different date night too.
everyone's different. And so, like, you find what works in your marriage.
Right.
Like, we're going to look different than another couple. They might want to go bungee jumping and hot air ballooning and skydiving, and maybe that's exciting for them. Our excitement looks, different,
We
right?
go to dinner and then we get in the hot tub or watch a movie. That's pretty much our life. A date night.
Yeah, but that's
We like to invite friends. We like to try new restaurants. We go to the golf simulator once in a while, stuff like that. We used to play pickleball a lot.
once in a while, yeah.
Once in a while. Once in a while when we have some energy. I mean, sometimes at the end of the weekend you're like, I literally just want to sit and go to dinner and talk to you. And that's great. If you're like us, that's what you want to do. That's fantastic.
Yeah, whatever it is, it looks different to
Come
everyone.
home, cuddle, climb in bed, watch a show. Like that's fine. Okay, next one. Husbands, we just have a couple more. I feel like my wife is always on her phone, even when we finally have time together. It makes me feel unprioritized and like I'm competing with a screen for her attention. This happens a lot.
A lot of people feel that
that
way, yeah.
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of that. So put your phones down. If you want a good marriage, you got to go work on the marriage. I mean, phones are addicting, reels are addicting. You could sit on TikTok and just swipe and do that for hours, and all of a sudden you're like, what a waste of life.
That's the thing too, is if you asked every single, spouse, they're gonna say, yeah, I would love to have a better marriage.
Right.
If they are saying that they wouldn't want to have a better marriage, then I don't even know why they're together. But that's the thing. Everyone would love to have a better marriage, but it's amazing how we don't often put forth the effort or do the simple things that would cause us to have a much better marriage. Like it takes a lot of work, but I mean, we hear the phone thing constantly.
It's more just not even, that's not even work. That's just called discipline. That's like, just put your phone down, right?
And there's a time and place for it.
There's a time and place for it. Yep. I wish my husband knew how attractive it is when he is loving, calm, and patient with me and our kids. I truly believe our marriage would feel so much better if there was less frustration, more positivity between us. This one can go both ways, but I think there are some men out there that are stressed or just ornery. Just the whole personality is just different. Nick's like, can't imagine that one because Nick doesn't get ornery, literally. But there are some men out there that get angry really easy. And that's like a really big turnoff for wives. Like really big.
It's because his how do I say this? He's sexually frustrated.
Not always.
Not always.
Not always. There's a lot of just not very super positive, very nice
no,
men.
I understand that.
And that goes both, there's women too, right? So that goes both ways. I think that being loving, calm, and patient and just not getting frustrated easy, like patience is a virtue, right? I think that's really attractive in both spouses.
Amy's usually saying, you need to get more frustrated. You need to get more mad.
Too calm. I'm like, do you have any emotions? Do you?
Do I have any emotions?
Like, no, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I got emotions.
Nick's like, I'm leveled.
Do you have any...
Happy, leveled. Just always.
Yeah,
always.
I have emotions, but
they're just bottled.
I just don't get mad. I'm chill.
Do you get frustrated?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who do you? Business stuff. He only gets frustrated with business stuff. That's good. Maybe
so that means that means you don't frustrate me.
I wish so badly my wife. Okay, last ones. I wish so badly that my wife still felt like the fun, funny person I married. I know she has a lot on her plate, and I try to help, but I miss when we would laugh together, play together, or just have more fun together without distractions. Yeah. I think a lot of women feel the same way. This one also can go both ways. I think all of us kind of miss the old days, right? Things have changed.
We were talking about that 2 days ago.
We were.
Mm-hmm. It was 2 days ago. You might not remember.
I don't remember 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, we were talking about this 2 days ago, how we should have more fun in our marriage.
Yeah. Yep.
And we do have fun, don't get me wrong, but we're just like, yeah,
Yeah, we play a lot of card games at our house. Like there's this new game we play all the time, and I think that's fun.
yeah.
Sometimes we can get our teenagers too, and sometimes we can't. So we have to invite friends over. But fun. Fun is important. Wives, I would love to have more emotional connection in my marriage. I want my husband to genuinely want to know me, want to talk with me, and care about how I'm actually feeling. You always make that comment that like the average couple has like a 7 minute
7 minutes per day that they talk,
that they like really
meaningful
connect. Yeah,
conversations. Yeah.
that's really sad. You cannot have a meaningful conversation with your wife and really know her
And
in 7 to 10
yeah,
minutes a
for
day.
sure.
Like that takes
And
time.
that's like throughout the day, right? So that might be a couple minutes in the morning, you're talking, couple minutes when you get
Mhm.
home, like, yeah, 7 minutes total. So
Yeah,
yeah, you can't do anything in
you
seven
can't,
minutes.
yeah, you've got more time than that. Everyone has more time than that. So, um, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna read two more because I just think they're important. I wish my wife would get that intimacy for me is more than just physical. It's how I feel emotionally connected. I love her deeply. That's the way I feel loved and secure in our marriage. We talk about that all the time. I don't even think we need to expand on that. That's what guys think. Girls don't understand it a lot of the time.
Yeah. They think, oh, it's just about sex.
And I'm guilty of that. Sometimes I do think that. My last one is I wish my husband could understand that intimacy for me starts with emotional connection. I need to feel safe, loved, and mentally present before I can be close sexually. Oh, there's more. Just hold on. I'm just going to read these. I wish my wife knew how much it means when she shows appreciation for the things I do. I just want to feel noticed. I'll show up even more for her and the family when I feel loved. I wish my husband would understand that I need more time to feel emotionally and physically connected before intimacy. I need longer foreplay and emotional closeness so I can fully relax, feel loved, and be present in that moment. I'm going to end there. Obviously, we could do hours of this because there are a lot of things that spouses wish for. I just want to end with we shouldn't have to wish for these things. Wishing is a word that means probably never going to happen, but I'm going to
Hmm.
wish it over my birthday candle when I blow out my candles because maybe in one crazy world this would happen to me, right? Like I wish. Wishing in marriage just needs to be as simple as going and talking to your spouse about it and your spouse caring about your feelings. If it's important
Well,
to one spouse, it should be important to you. So like I feel like all these things we've talked about all of them in deeper podcast episodes, almost every single thing that was brought up today we have an entire episode on. Listen to the episode. If one of those is a hard point in your marriage and talk to each other about it and be like, this is what I wish that our marriage had more of. And she probably has something that she wishes that you had more of in your marriage. And it just takes you guys being like, how about we have a great marriage and overcome this?
well, and I'll bet many of those spouses that are saying, I wish we had this, I wish we
Yeah.
had this, probably have not talked to their spouse about it. And,
Or,
or
well, probably event they have, but then it kind of just got
yeah,
put to the side,
yeah,
right?
or it hasn't been like a serious conversation,
Right.
right? So, it could have been said like out of frustration or
Mhm.
something. But yeah, if you're struggling with something or there's something you want out of your marriage, sit down with your spouse, talk about it, have that good conversation. And like we always say, something can't get better unless you're willing to talk about it.
For sure. For sure.
So,
Anyways,
anyways,
if you struggle with talking about any of these things, and we always do Therapist Fridays. If there's any questions that you want us to answer, if you're like, my spouse won't talk about it, we have an episode on that with Austin, the therapist. Like some of these things, like you're saying, my
yeah,
spouse won't talk about this. We have episodes for that. So go back and listen to those ones. If it's still not working, reach out to us and we can give you contact info for a therapist or try to help you the best that we can. We get a lot of emails, so just write us. And yeah, Friday is our therapist interview. So if you have something, throw the questions at us and we'll send them.
yeah, bring it on. If you need some good products as well to help with the conversations, we have the conversations starters. You can find a ton of good products at shop.ultimateintimacy.com. We appreciate all the support. I mean, it helps greatly
Keeps our
and
podcast
keeps our
going.
podcast going. We appreciate all the people that listen to our podcast and consider leaving us a review if you feel comfortable doing so as well. And appreciate all of you listening to the podcast. And as always, we hope you find ultimate intimacy in your relationship.